everyone, this is Nick from Yardman Garden and artsTV. And actually my name is Nicoy. Someone was saying, I always say Nick. But you know what is my real name? It's actually Nicoy. It's my real name, Nickoy. So Nicoy, but Nick is easy, a lot of people just say Nick, so I just stick with the Nick. So yeah, Nick from Yardman Garden and artsTV. Today I'm sharing this video with you. I thought it's an important video in what I do, the type of tool that I use. And today this is the machete. It's one of my favorite tools to use in the garden, and it's always come in handy for most things that I do in the garden, opposed to cutting weed, digging, and just a bunch of stuff. Like it's my most used tool, just living, not just in the garden, what I mean. So today I'm just showing an example of how I sharpen my machete, the safe way to sharpen it, and mistake that you don't want to make, while sharpening a machete. Today I have a file. We call it a file. It's just a sharpener, this rigid head sharpening tool. It's kind of rusted because I actually leave it outside in the element, so it was rained and all that. So you probably don't want to do that. So you will get this rustiness. And this is not the best one either, and it's not brand new. I have been using it for some years now. So, but anyway, it's work, and you can get my machete sharp and ready to cut. So, first I'm working on the edges. So you always wanna get the edges sharp. So it's a whole you have different motion of way you can go about sharpening it. You know what I mean? So this one I'm gonna do the I look a push and stroke. So I'm just basically putting pressure, onto the edge surface. But this is already sharpened a little bit, so it's not as thick as how they came. Because when they just come, it's pretty much a thick surface, and you have to sharpen it. So yeah, I'm just doing a push, push it along the edge. But a safe way though, you have to realize that I'm going behind the cutting blade. So this is the cutting blade, and this is the back of the machete. So I'm going this way, opposed to this way. I explain it as I go more. But unless you totally know what you're doing, be aware of what you're doing, and comfortable with using the machete and sharpening it. You'd never want to go sharpening towards the blade. So the mistake of you cutting your finger is open. Because you're pushing into the blade, so you definitely don't want to do that. So when you're doing this side, this is the point of the machete, another cutting part of it. So it's always good to put it on a surface, like you see I'm here on this wooden surface. Sometimes if you have a concrete surface or whatever. But yeah, I'm doing the edges, and I'm pushing along the edge, getting the edge sharp. So it's a downward stroke. So I can either go and stroke it off, or I can do like a push where I keep it on sliding against the machete. So it's basically sharpening it and getting a sharp edge where it's just like a knife in your kitchen, where the edge is sharp, and you can just tell it's ready to cut. A lot of time you use your finger and rub it along the edge and kind of see how sharp it's coming along. So yeah, if you're sharpening this side, you definitely want to go beyond the cut part of it. When you go to sharp this side now, as you realize that you wonder how you sharpen this other edge. So this end is kind of easier because the back is already, turning that way. So it's easier to just go along. So this side, you want to turn it upside down like that. So as you see, So that way, and then that way. So as you see, so I'm always going behind cutting myself. And then you'll reverse it, flip it up that way. So that's why you're sharpening both sides. So that's one side and the other side. So yeah, same thing, you just reverse and go along. And it's always good to have it between, like right here between this, where it's stuck firm. And you just go along, and sharpen it. So right now I'm doing the same, pushing against the machete and sliding the sharpening tool against it. One of the hardest part to sharpen is always this side. You know, the up by the top part of it, the point. Most of the time it's the thickest part of it to get it down, you know, to where it's have a sharp edge. And it's also is awkward into getting it sharpened. You know, there's many tools that you can use. There's a lot of options, and there's easier tool to use than this one. But at the moment, this is what I use. And old schoolers in the Caribbean, we do use type of this a lot, and some other smaller round or diamond shape one. Usually we stick them into like a wood. But yeah, this is pretty much already sharpened. You know, this machete. So I just want to give you an example. So like I said, you know, this you don't want to sharpen into the here unless you're aware of what you're doing. But you'll cut yourself easily. So you want to spin it that way. Go along the edges like that. And then the opposite side, you flip it over. And then I go that way. Alright? So now my machete is sharp. I'm going to give you an example of, you know, working it. This piece of land I was clearing the other day, you know, to plant some new stuff. It's a whole new area that I'm creating, you know, where I can get some vegetable and some herb and spices going. So yeah, my machete is already sharpened. I'll give you an example of how to use it. You know what I mean? And as you see, I come here, let me get this heavier weed out the way. So I can get a new, you know, clean bare surface to start chopping. These are already all dead stuff that I already chopped. But yeah, you always want to stay behind the machete. That's important. When I say stay behind the machete, meaning you don't want to like come and start to cut where your foot is exposed to the blade in any way. So you want to always turn your way like this and chop this way. So for example, I'm cutting this way, my hand always, you know, go on my feet. So before the machete would come around and cut me, my hand would stop on my feet like that. So for example, you don't want to come before the machete like this, you know. You don't always go like this and, you know, chop downward where your hand buck and your foot to stop it. So, you know, like for example, so as you see, my hand is going that way and stopping on my feet. So yeah, you can, so much thing you can cut with machete, and opposed to like, for example, like, you know, weed whacker. You know, a machete you can chop into thicker bushes and cut down, you know, heavier trees, what a weed whacker cannot do. You know what I mean? And you can get way down low to the surface. As in this case, I'm gonna plant some food, so I want all of these weeds to be gone, you know, so. But yeah. Here is a bit rough. You have some little rock stone in it, so which also help dulling your machete more. But when I get it clean, eventually I'll prevent and get rid of all that, you know. Another safe way of using a machete, I'm gonna give you an example. You know, let me get this piece of stick that's sitting here. So this is another way of using a machete safe. And a moment here, I'm gonna come in with an example. I know how important this, you know, way of using a machete. I'm just gonna cut these off. As you see, I'm turning this around that way instead of trying to cutting it this way. It would be kind of harder cutting into the bump, you know. So this way, like I said, this is pretty sharp right now, so, and this is not the toughest tree anyway, so, but yeah, easier way to cut away from that. So yeah, I'm gonna use this piece of stick, show you another example of safe way to use a machete chop. And this is also good for older folks. And if you want a way to brace against something while you're chopping, instead of leaning so low, you can be up more, But this is also another safe way to prevent the machete from cutting you. And basically you're just using it as a shield and a barrier from your foot, between the machete. An example, I'm going to chop here. I have this place here. So it's always come, and if anything, the machete, you'll hit this before it come around on your feet. And like I said, it's always a brace and a comfortable way to cut. So yeah, now you see I can cut this way and come back in to the part that I already cut. So yeah, this is a very protective shield between you and the machete. And where I'm from, older folks using the machete always use this technique to just keep them themselves bracing up. And so that you're not putting more pressure on your back. But as for me, I like more freedom. So I'll use the old technique of relying on my hand to stop my feet. But you always want to make sure you hold this machete firm, and not chop and let it loose. It's always more effort when you're on an angle as well, on this hill. So it's more effort. You always have to be more careful. Yeah, this rock, not good for the machete, Put that in the middle there. So yeah, got all this new area that I'm gonna have to plant stuff. You know what I mean? And so yeah, so much I use in my machete to do. So it's one of my favorite tools to use. To get my garden prepared and prep. I use it to dig, plant stuff. I could be sowing seed. I could be using it to dig, and use it to take away extra weed. Get the roots, like these roots. Coming in and work in the area. So yeah, there's a lot that I use my machete for. But so long we're done with it. People always say sometimes, ask me, if I go to the gym. And I said, basically the answer is no, My gym is my way of life, the way that I live, How I work out, look at that. So it's all this work, the way of life. That's my working out. So anyway, away with all of that example of cutting machete, I'm gonna show you more into my way of life and what am I doing here. So I'm gonna go behind the camera now. Alright? As I work my way behind the camera. So yeah, this is my space that I'm getting cleaned. Still have some way to go. And the other day I did already get some stuff going. So these are some okra that I have here. And as you see, I am not coming in and pouring like new soil on the surface of this new era. So I'm basically digging out my space and my hole where I want to plant my food, and then add my new soil and my mulch in that way. And as they get growing, I'm gonna come here and, you know, add more mulches and get my mulch go around it and, you know, kind of mold it up. So in that way I spare on much soil I have to use, you know, in between that time I'm developing the area as well, you know. So after years of doing that, you know, definitely I'm gonna have more of a you know, all mulched area, and I'm gonna put some straw after I finish and get going. So yeah, these are some more new plants that I have here. I have my pepper fall over. These are some Scotch bonnet that I had from the last video that I took when I was planting these. Some of those videos that I'm yet to upload, so I'm looking forward to sharing those videos. But yeah, these are some Scotch bonnet that I got from a Scotch bonnet seed, you know, someone gave to me. And here I have some green onion, some kale, and some tomato. These are all, you know, seedling, so they haven't grown into much of maturity in any way as yet. So I'm gonna get them in the soil today. Here again I have some more okra, and where I started the Scotch bonnet, so I start them in this this old file tin container. So yeah, you know, yesterday I got myself a brand new wheelbarrow. I think I got it at Lowe's. I brought it 119, I think I pay. Cobalt. Then I got some straw, and these are some seedling mulch, they call it, you know, weed free, you know, 99% weed free. It's just some, you know, regular straw. It's supposed to be organic. But yeah, I got myself a new wheelbarrow, looking into put it to work. Some straw. And over here these are where I had some of the new plants and the new seedling that I start. It's a way more better image. So yeah, this is my same spot along my house side here. As you see, these are some onion that I had inside the house that I was, you know, growing some roots, so I put them out here. But yeah, that's some of the Scotch bonnet. All my people of the Caribbean or whoever used to these pepper. There's some switch straw. Some more Scotch bonnet along here. More Scotch bonnet. You know, some switch straw. Another root of switch straw. There's some here. More switch straw here. So I have the ruby red, which is that one, that ruby red. And then some, you know, just green switch straw. You know, it's a great vegetable and it's healthy, so I grow a lot of it. Here's some more okra. There's some thyme that I had growing, and I always reap thyme even in the winter. You know, so thyme is always a good one to plant along the season. You know, it always have it for the whole year basically. You know, even in the winter I come and I get fresh thyme. There's some wild catnip growing out of the wall here. I might get rid of it, although catnip is a good plant to have around your garden. That does prevent, you know, some pests and, you know, flying insect, and also attract good one for your garden as well. But I might get rid of that because, you know, it's gonna get bushy and take away the sun from those things here. But yeah, this is just along the house side right here. My very old small space that I always feature in my videos. Here I have some callaloo sowing in this bed right here, but they haven't started growing up yet, so it's just a couple of days ago I did that. So yeah, here I have some more you know, okra, and another root of that ruby red switch straw. Around here I have some strawberry, as you see. This patch of strawberry, I had it for some good time now, you know what I mean? Like, maybe when I just basically moved here to America, my first gardening that I started, I put these strawberry in this area here. You know, so they do need some maintenance and some, as you see, I'm putting in some new soil. And I already de-weed the area. There's a lot of weed that was growing, so, you know, it's not looking the best, so I'm gonna, you know, give it some love this season and get it going back again, so that this whole area is full off with strawberry. And maybe put some mesh in to prevent this chipmunk. You know, because one time those are the reason why I was like, oh, you know, they always eat so much of it, so I kind of just let them have at it for a while. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't eating so much strawberry. But, you know, I like to see my garden looking green and lush, so I'm gonna fix this area. But yeah, I'm gonna close off this video right now. So like I said, you know, this is Nick from Yardman Garden and artsTV. You know, my videos are raw and uncut, you know, and just straightforward. You know, just a life into an artist, a gardener. You know. So yeah, I'm just wanna share this video today. So if anyone find it interested, you know, and find any of my content, you know, educational and motivating, you know, just hit the like, give me a thumbs up, you know, subscribe to my channel, you know, and share my content. And, you know, comment on it, you know, let me know what you in the comment, what can I do different, and, you know, who am I motivating and or whatever. Just conversate with me, you know what I mean? And I will answer back. Alright, Nick from Yardman Garden and artsTV. So in peace and love to the people of the world, you know what I mean? And everyone take care, you know, and be well. Spread love, you know, and positivity and light. Alright? Like and subscribe to my channel. Follow my channel. Alright? Catch you on the next video. Alright? Peace.